8 out of 10 people say their job is toxic. Yes, it's 80%. That's almost everyone dragging themselves to work every day, feeling drained, angry, or miserable. And if you're watching this, there's a good chance you know exactly what that feels like. But the question is not, is my job toxic? But when should I actually quit? Because if you wait too long, it won't just ruin your mood, it'll start to mess with your life. So stick around, I'll show you the exact signs it's time to quit before your job burns you out completely. Let's get back to that eye-opening number first. You see, the situation is going downhill. 80% of people say their work is toxic these days. But in 2024, just 67% of people said the same. And it gets even worse, with 71% of employees saying that their mental health at work is straight up bad. And a whopping 93% say their boss or company doesn't do a thing to help. When people were asked what actually makes a job toxic, the number one answer wasn't the low pay or long hours. It was a toxic boss. Almost 8 out of 10 people said their bosses were either unethical, took zero accountability, or just didn't care. You might know the type. The ones that disappear when there's a problem, take credit when things go right, and blame you when they don't. But that's not all. According to iHire, almost 70% of employees said communication at work was basically non-existent. No one knows what's going on, messages get lost, and you don't even know what your job even is some days. Then 67% said they were treated unfairly. You know, favoritism, double standards, and someone getting promoted not because they earned it, but because they're someone's buddy. And finally, 67% of people said the stress and burnout were completely out of control because of unrealistic deadlines, impossible workloads, and no time to breathe. This kind of pressure makes you question whether the paycheck is even worth it anymore. At the same time, when employers were asked to rate their own workplaces, more than 80% of them said that their working environment was great. Sadly, only 45% of the people actually working there agreed with such an assessment. That's a huge gap, which says a lot. Bosses think everything is sunshine and teamwork, while half of their employees are quietly counting down the minutes till 5 p.m. Now, to be fair, this survey mentioned that not all of these employers and employees work at the same companies, but still, the disconnect is hard to ignore. The trend continues. About 67% of employers said relationships between managers and employees were excellent or good. More than half even said morale was really high, which sounds great. Except that's not what employees are saying at all. When workers were asked what actually makes a job feel positive, their answers were loud and clear. They want honest communication from leadership. 81% said that's the number one thing. 70% want recognition and appreciation for the work they do. And 69% want a healthy work-life balance. That's pretty basic stuff, but nearly 70% of workers who said their job was toxic also said communication at their workplace was awful. And of those, almost 90% said leadership sent out mixed messages. Like one day it's "we're a family," the next it's layoffs. And 65% said their company had zero transparency. Nobody really knows what's happening until it's too late. Research from MIT Sloan shows that a toxic culture is 10 times more likely to make someone quit than low pay. That's not just bad for morale, it's bad for business. Companies lose close to $50 billion a year just from people walking out the door because of bad culture. And probably the worst thing is that almost half of employees say they don't trust HR to do anything about toxic behavior. Only 1 in 4 actually believes HR can handle it. That's a huge trust gap, and it means policies alone aren't enough anymore. People want to see real action. Now, I need you to listen to me attentively. A toxic workplace doesn't just make you hate Mondays. It messes with your body and your mind. First comes the stress, that nasty one that never really shuts off. You wake up tired, go to work tense, and come home even worse. Your body's there, but your mind never really clocks out. Even on weekends, it's still running through deadlines and emails. Then it starts showing up physically. The headaches, the constant fatigue, the random aches that just don't quit. Sleep? Forget it. Either your mind's spinning so fast you can't fall asleep, or you jolt awake at 3 a.m. replaying that one conversation, that one email you still haven't answered. And slowly it chips away at you. Your patience wears thin. You're more irritable, more distant, more gone. You try to fix it. More coffee, more powering through. But all it does is push you closer to burnout until you're just running on fumes, not even caring anymore. This isn't just theory. It happens to real people every day. Take Linda, for example. Things started going wrong almost right after she got the job. At first, she thought it was just normal stress, but during the chaotic onboarding, she noticed something terrifying. Her hair was falling out. Then came the sleepless nights, the racing heartbeat, the dizziness, the moments where she couldn't catch her breath. When she finally saw a counselor, she learned the truth. She'd been having anxiety attacks, and by then, her body was breaking down. She was grinding her teeth at night so hard, her jaw swelled up. She couldn't eat. She could barely talk, and she knew what was causing it. Her job. Every night, she'd wake up suddenly and just stare at the ceiling, unable to fall back asleep no matter how exhausted she was. It all continued until she made the only right decision. She quit. Now, you might be wondering, is my work environment toxic too? If you're asking yourself this question, it might be. But let's figure it out together, because a toxic workplace doesn't always hit you all at once. One day you're fine, and the next you're wondering why you feel drained, anxious, or totally unmotivated. One of the biggest red flags is constant negativity. Every conversation turns into complaining, gossip, or flat out criticism. After a while, it starts to mess with your mood. Even if you try to stay positive, the negativity just wears you down. There's no real support from leadership. You feel ignored, micromanaged, or blamed for stuff that's not even your fault. Instead of helping you solve problems, your boss just points fingers and moves on. People keep quitting. It feels like there's always someone leaving. Well, that's not normal. High turnover usually means other people are struggling with the same things you are. You can't find work-life balance. You're expected to answer messages at night, work weekends, or stay late without extra pay. Basically, your personal time doesn't matter. Look, this is a huge red flag. Everything's unclear. Your role changes every other week. Goals keep shifting, and no one seems to know what's going on. You're stuck guessing what's expected of you, and it's exhausting. There's zero recognition. You work hard, but no one seems to notice. Instead of, hey, great job, you get silence or constant criticism. Do you notice low morale all around? That's bad. If everyone looks tired, frustrated, or checked out, and you can feel the lack of motivation in the air, it'll start to rub off on you too. Are you scared to speak up? Holding back from saying what's wrong because you're afraid your boss will retaliate or make your life harder? That's a clear sign of a toxic work environment. Now, do any of these signs ring a bell? Now, it might be time to leave before it's too late. Start with a short, polite resignation letter. Keep it professional. Say you're resigning, include your last day, and thank them for the opportunity. No need to bring up what went wrong. Then find the right time to talk to your manager. Do it privately, stay calm, and don't let frustration take over. Prepare for any reaction. Surprise, guilt trips, maybe even anger. Just stay firm. If you can, offer to help with the transition. It leaves a good impression and helps you walk out on your own terms. And finally, leaving a toxic job might be easier if you know what other job opportunities the world has to offer. That's where a special AI service like jobhire.ai can help you. This bot is built to find the jobs that truly match you. It fine-tunes your resume for every single position, and even puts you through realistic mock interviews with its AI coach. This way, you're fully prepared when the time to move to a nicer workplace comes. Ready to try it out? Grab the promo code in the video description. And keep in mind that even though leaving a toxic job is never easy, doing it prepared and with grace means you're already one step ahead and one step closer to peace.